Dear listeners, good morning and welcome here in our study of literature. My topic today is W.B. Yeats' contribution in improving Tagore's translation of Gitanjali. Dear listeners, as great modern poets, Rabindranath Tagore and W.B. Yeats have a number of similarities between themselves. Both came from British colonies. Both are interested in their national culture and movement in a certain phase for the betterment of their respective native people. They were good friends, and both of them won Nobel Prize in Literature. But there came a huge rift in the friendship in the Gitanjali translation episode and its subsequent popularity, which found its zenith when the very volume got Nobel Prize in Literature in 1913. How and when it happened? Let me portray the episode in short. Dear listeners, our exponent Anand Kentish Kumaraswamy and famous artist Rodenstein inspired Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore to translate his poetry into English to get global recognition. Though Tagore started the work much earlier, this time he approached the job seriously, and with his great mission in his heart, he reached England in 1912. It was his third trip to the island country. After a prolonged effort, the English version of Gitanjali, that is Song Offerings, published on the first day of November 1912. It was a volume of 80 pages, containing free translation of 103 poems, including an introduction by Yeats himself. For India Society, Cheswick Press London printed it. It is a reality that Yeats made a slight change in the diction and syntax there. Immediately, it got huge compliment from the readers and scholars from UK and USA. On November 6, 7 and 16, there appeared review in the Times Literary Supplement, and it quite significantly brought fame to Yeats, as it portrayed Rabindranath as a great contemporary poet shadowing his European and American counterparts. Song Offerings won the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1913, and the very announcement came on the 13th day of November, the year of course 1913. To win it, Tagore had to surpass 27 great nominees like B.P. Galdós from Spain, Carol Spieleter from Switzerland, Grazia Deledda from Italy, Ernest Lewis and Perry Loti from France, Anatole France from Germany, and Thomas Hardy from England. Tagore and others at Shantiniketan Ashram got the great news when his son-in-law Nagendranath bore the telegram at the eve of Rash Purnima. So, Bolpur, Calcutta, Bengal and India rose and rejoiced for months. Tagore foreign friends also sent hundreds of congratulatory notes in this regards. Stars Moore, Ernest Rhys, Fox Strangways, Robert Bridges, May Sinclair, Elvin Underhill and so on were in this regard. But W.B. Yeats and Ezra Pound were notable absent in this very list. But Yeats was Tagore's bosom friend till the latter's winning the global crown. In the meantime, there was a huge rumor that Yeats' task in translating Gitanjali made the very volume eligible for the Nobel Prize. Unfortunately enough, Yeats himself remained silent in this regard, and the rumor got huge strength. But how much did Yeats actually change or influence Tagore's original translation? Let me look into the matter after Professor Saurendra Mitro's observation. According to Professor Mitro, out of 103 poems in the English version of Gitanjali, 83 poems got Yeats' corrective task. There are 500 sentences and 10,000 words, and out of which only 43 sentences and 45 words reformed by the Irish gentleman. Within this area, there are only 250 cases of changes in word orders and punctuation, etc. Now, I would like to show you a few notable changes in this regard. Dear listeners, in Gitanjali, poem number 58, we notice a case of omission when Yeats omitted the epithet wild from the phrase wild laughter, definitely degenerating the beauty of the phrase. Dear listeners, sometimes Yeats changed the position of the word orders, such as in the poem number 18, he put quote unquote I am in place of Tagore's quote unquote am I. In the poem number 14 of Song Offerings, Yeats kept quote I and thou, converting Tagore's quote thou and I unquote. The Irishman wrote quote ever did thou unquote, reforming Gurudev's quote thou ever did unquote. In the poem number 26, Yeats finalized quote why do I ever miss unquote, while Tagore proposed why ever I miss unquote. Again, in the poem number 43, the phrase common crowd has been forwarded by Yeats in place of Tagore's motley crowd. I am sure you will never say these are the instances of improvement. Thus, the final impression is that, as Rodenstein declares, Yeats brought a slight change in Tagore's English translation of Gitanjali. In support support of his statement, Rubinstein exhibited the original translation of Gitanjali, which he personally preserved. In fact, observing Tagore's rapid and immediate popularity, like many others, Yeats was also disheartened. And with this, I would conclude my assignment today. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.